Okay, it's cold. It's like I think 58 degrees or something. I just got back from work, and so I turned the airflow system off till I get back. So story time about, and I actually have footage of this a little bit of this crash that I didn't really see, but I saw the tail end of. I got a comment on one of the me talking as long as I cans from a guy who said, "Tell more motorcycle stories." So I'll do that because I loved riding, and I still do. I will get another bike. Smoking marshmallow root. Very nice, very unique feeling. So it's COVID 2020, and this is when I did most of the riding, was COVID that summer. So hold on, let me just take the mic out. All right. I found a lot, almost all my rides on like Facebook Marketplace, or not Facebook Marketplace, but like the Facebook. There's like a motorcycle group, and you go in the group and you'd say, you know, hey, who wants to go riding at like 4 p.m. And especially during COVID summer, you just get hit up by random dudes and you meet them and you just go fucking ride a motorcycle. They'd tell you how fast you want to ride. They'd say, hey, I'm a chill rider. This and that. I got a Yamaha R6. What the fuck is opening? I got a, CBR 600RR. I'm going to go slow, though, because I got new tires. Or I'm going to go fast. I got this new R1 or whatever, right? Sometimes... Shit. This marshmallow is fucking dry, man. Sometimes there'll be, like, group rides, too. Big group rides, like 15, 20 people. And these are my favorite because it's like you're riding with an army. And maybe I'll talk about, like, the group rides of, like, fucking 150 people. But there's this one day where I'm, like, rolling with a few people for a couple hours. And they're like, hey, let's meet up with this other group at this, like, barbecue spot and go slide in the country. It's like, cool. So, head out. We're riding, whatever. Get this barbecue spot and sit down. And I'll see if I have a picture of, like, all the bikes set up at this place. I'm pretty sure I do. And if so, it's on the screen. If not, didn't find it. But we get there, and I usually rode with, like, the same 4 people. This dude named Gabe, Twan, and 2 or 3 other guys. A guy that looked just like fucking Seth Rogen. It's kind of crazy. Pull up, eat this pork or whatever. And they're like, all right, we're going to go ride in the country. And then usually right before the ride, they, like, lay out the parameters of how we're going to be hoofing it. So typically in a group of, like, 5+, somebody's going to be a street demon. And we were the type of guys, we rode sport bikes exclusively. We didn't ride, like, cruisers because we weren't homosexuals. We were riding fast. And the group I rode with, we're all young. We're, like, in our 20s and low 30s, so we were just hauling ass all the time. And so what would happen was if we met up with a group like this, some of the people would just be like casual riders, just bit my fucking tongue, fuck. And they'd, like, hang in the back. But me and, like, 3 or 4 of the other guys would be in the front. So what we do is, like, we'd start riding, go slow enough, and then once we get to the country where there's no cops or anything like that, and the speed limit doesn't really matter, and there's, like, empty roads and things like that, we just woof it, like, slide 130 on the straights, like 70, 90 in the corners. Is awesome. It's incredible. Inside, outside, inside. When you hit a curve, all that shit. It's beautiful shit. So we're in the restaurant, and this girl's talking a bunch of shit. She's trying to be a man. She's all like, she's been riding at the time for like 3 weeks. And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep up with you guys, yada, yada. And I've been riding. It was 2020, so I've been riding for like 2 years. And I had ridden a lot in those 2 years. It was only 2 years, but I put a lot of miles on my bikes. A lot. I've hit a lot of group rides, ridden with some really fast guys. I knew what the fuck I was doing. And I also knew that I respected the machine between my legs. It's like, that's one of the things that she just didn't have for her. So from the beginning, recipe for disaster. We start off, and so this is how it kind of went. Like the 4 or 5 few fastest guys, whoever wanted to haul ass, would like just ride in the front, and then somebody would have the route, and that dude was usually the fastest dude. And so the guy who like ran, who would like go to the track on a regular basis, would be at the front, and the people who could keep up with him would keep up with him. So I was one of the guys that would keep up with him. So we're riding, right, and what we do is like at stop signs and shit like that, we would like stop and wait for everybody else to catch up. It'd take like not long, maybe a minute or two, and then people would be there. So one time it took like 5 minutes. We stop at like some school, and there's this big stop sign. There's nobody there, nobody around. So we stop, wait. And 5 minutes when there's like somebody on a vehicle behind you is a very long time. That's like multiple miles. And we're like, what the fuck is taking so long? So we wait a little bit more, and we get off our bikes, start talking. We're like, okay, maybe they got lost or somebody went down. So we're like, all right, who's going to turn around? There's 4 or 5 of us there, and we're like, fuck it, let's just all go. So we spin around, turn back, and we're riding for like 3-4 miles, don't see anybody. Now we're like, okay, well, maybe they lost us. And then we pull up, and dude, you can see the video. Fire trucks and shit are already there. And in that video, you can see that the sign she hit. So this is what happened. Old cocky girl destroyed her Ninja 400 and her fucking forearm. So basically there was like a big curve, and it was a very slight curve, but it was still a long curve. And in curves, when you're riding on a motorcycle, if you make one mistake, you could overcorrect and you're going down. So it was like a very, very slight curve. It like barely turned. It wasn't even 90 degrees. It was like maybe like this, like that. But it's like if you take your eyes off of the fucking road, or you're looking at the house or the street sign or some stupid shit, you're fucking hitting the ground. So there's 2 main ways to crash. Well, 3 technically. 3 ways to crash. You could slam into something, which doesn't really count. Or you could high side or low side. A low side is when you're riding and you go like this and you drop the bike. A high side is when you're riding, your tire stop, and you fucking flip over the handlebars. That is the shit that breaks people's arms and kills them. But like a low side is the shit you just get scraped up, you get some bruises and things like that, maybe you roll a little bit, and that's what you kind of want to err on if you feel yourself going down. You just want to drop the fucking bike. And since she was new, she held on, high-sided, flipped over the handlebars, and I don't know if I have the picture for it, but her gas tank, so you know the gas tank on a bike is like in the center. There's like a big divot in the middle of the gas tank where after she flipped over the fucking handlebars and literally flew off the bike rolled and slammed into a street sign. And you can see in that little Snapchat video, the fucking street sign is fucked up. So imagine the force that the bike was moving. And I don't know if you could see that as well. So first of all, when we pulled up, the fire people were already there. We're like, holy shit, damn, that was quick. And, of course, it's these people's fucking front yard. It's a little awkward because we're like, you know, now what? Do we stay? Because, like, what are we supposed to do? I'm not an EMT. And I still got – it's hot. I want to move. Also, I still got some riding to do, baby. Can't lie to you. I'm not going to stick around just to listen to this bitch scream. Dude, so it turns out it was pretty bad. I'm not going to lie. It was pretty fucked up. Her I don't know what the word is for the fucking radial, maybe? This one? It was like sticking out. You could see it. It was like a good 3 or 4 inches out of her arm. It was fucking a lot. And she was in the state where you're in so much pain you can't really make any noise. It was tough to listen to. I'm not going to lie to you. But yeah, we left her ass. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we didn't leave her. Like the ambulance, they were, paramedics are taking care of her. So it's not like we left her hanging. But I mean, what the fuck else am I gonna do? I don't know how to fix that shit. So I left. Me and the guys, we took off. That was one time I saw a crash. There's 2 other times. Maybe we'll talk about those later. But man, I loved riding. And by the way, she got another bike and was riding, I think, within a few months. It's addicting. Can't fight it sometimes, man. You just can't. You just can't. Barbecue's fire, though. Can't lie. Matter of fact, let's watch a short little edit I made on my my other YouTube. So whenever somebody would like die or something, if they were popular, they'd have like a group ride for them. And this is one of the, let me see if I could switch accounts. So there's like a group ride for this. I think it was like a father of a few people, and I went to his house, used his bathroom. It was crazy shit, and we had a big ride out for him with like 100 fucking bikes, man. And some of the people peeled off, but near the end, they went to his house in this cul-de-sac, and they offered us food. Well, like I had hot dogs and hamburgers and shit. Literally never met the guy in my life. They put it on Facebook, and you just pulled up and they fed you, and you fucking rode out for him. It was sick. So at the end, they were doing like burnouts and shit, and in honor of him, and you met his wife and his kids and shit like that. It was really surreal stuff. It's like really strange. And that was actually the first time leaving that event. I dropped my pearl white 2003 R6 YZF R6, and what I was doing, I was driving towards a stop sign, and I was like being a cockhead, and I was like letting the bike kind of swivel, and then I went too far and it fell. It's hard to explain. Anyways, let's see if I could find this video here. Yeah.
And that's so sad. KKK. Young nigga, I got old cash, spazzing on they ass. I got Prada on my whole ass. Got my lab one mad, pop a nigga like a damn tag. Shopping on they ass, I just bought a new old Jag. Yeah, it's so fast, smoking flocker, you a jackass. All I smoke is gas, don't you ask me where the pole at, where your clothes at. I ain't talking about my niggas.
Yeah, pretty cool shit. And that would happen like maybe twice a summer. Somebody would just pass away, and you'd go to their ride out. It was fucking insane. And so like with groups 100 plus, you would have to have like road guards. So they would employ these niggas. It wasn't even like employment. They would just like ask people to do it. The big ones that I went to were handled by the same guy. It was some black dude in the army, and he literally, like, we'd pull up at the gas station. It got to the point where there's so many bikes for rides like this where like you just weren't getting gas unless you had a motorcycle, and people were like giving out gas, and some software engineer who just happened to own a fucking S1000RR would, put his card in the thing and be like, who wants gas? Filling people's tanks up. It's like fucking $9 to fill your tank up. And so with fucking 93, and so he's just filling people up. We're comparing helmets, and then it's time for the ride at 11. So as 11 hits, he's like, all right, everybody gather around. Here's the thing. We're going to have 5 road guards, Johnny, Timmy, Billy, and fucking Jerk Off, and I'm going to be at the very front leading the ride. We're going to not be speeding, this, and that. Because, like, with a ride that big, cops can shut it down kind of easily. But I don't think they give a shit if we just take the road over. So what it kind of was is, like, we were staggered like this, and then there was like boom, 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 so you couldn't hit anybody. Plus, you wanted a little bit of free space in the lane to fuck around with because you couldn't speed, so you couldn't really have fun. But it was nice to like be part of a group just rumbling down the street, And it'd be like fucking 45 minutes an hour, just straight, just constant. It's pretty fucking sweet. And whenever we'd hit a light, if you're with a group like that, there's a 100% chance you're losing people because it's just the cycle's too short for the light. And so the road guards would like drive in front of the cars and sit there and go like this. It'd be like in front of the car. And the people in the cars never gave a shit. They never cared. Because, I mean, how often do you see like 120 bikes just fucking zooming down the road? A lot of them were like smiling, filming. They didn't care. I swear they didn't. So it was really, really cool. And so, of course, the road guards got to speed up. So, because they sit there while we pass. So then they have to haul ass to the front and then do it again at the next thing. And sometimes, they're getting behind and some traffic jams and shit like that. But yeah, it was super, super cool, man. It was incredible shit. I don't know why my voice is cracking so much today. But yeah, I loved that shit. And I do plan on getting another motorcycle in the future, for sure. For sure. I say that and I don't buy one, but it's like, I don't know if I'm in a position to buy one, yada, yada, yada. What would I buy? Woo, woo, woo. Definitely planning on selling one of the cars, but I plan on using the money to make other money, so we're going to see how it goes. Also don't need a motorcycle, and Marcus Aurelius says not to acquire anything you don't really need necessarily, but we're just kind of, I also loved it, and it was good for my headspace, because when you're on the motorcycle, there's nothing you could do but be on a motorcycle. You can't, like, text. You can't really think about anything, and you're also processing an insane amount of information, especially if you're speeding. So it's just incredible, and it's very freeing, and you could travel wherever you want, and man, it's really incredible shit. Maybe I'll talk about a couple other crashes some other time. My dad has a bike now. It's kind of scary. I think I motivated him to get his. And yeah. So I mean, short little story. 16 minutes. Pretty cool. But yeah, she went out fucking sad. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know where she is today. Probably still rides. That's the thing, is like pretty much every single person I knew that crashed. I've only seen like 3 crashes, but I've heard of a ton more. And all the people, well, I've seen 2. I technically didn't see the white girl go down, but I like was there for it. But I saw 2 others, like, with my own eyes. And those, like, every single person that has crashed that I know of has got back on the bike. Every single one. It's just, there's something about it. There's really something about it. So, that's today's video.